Hello students, welcome to all of you Shiksha 360. Today we have to cover chapter number 5 of Ethics in Banking part 1. That topic is very important for the examination point of view, and students basically who are preparing for the elective exam, certificate exam, this topic it is very important. Definitely you will get 4 to 5 questions from this topic. So now let's start our discussion. Totally theory based subject, but very important and interesting one. So what is the difference between the values, norms, beliefs, and their role? So now let's discuss first of all values. Values are a concept of the desirable behavior. Clear? What is a value? Basically, concept of the desirable behavior or an internalized standard or principle. Clear? What is value? Basically, it is a concept of the desirable behavior or an internalized standard or principle which evaluates what is impressed by an individual. Clear? Basically, which tells that what is the character of the individual. Clear? What is the character of the individual? Since values describe what is desirable, it must be desirable for all and not for a selected few. Clear? Basically, it depends upon the values. Clear? If any one person, we can say that basically that is desirable, or we can say that that is good. So it means that that person, it is good for all, not basically for any specific number of the persons. Here what they want to say. So something that is good for all can be considered as a truly good. Such a concept and standards are relatively few and determine or influence an individual evaluations of many objectives encountered in everyday life. Clear? So on the basis of that, we are evaluate or influence the individual evaluation or character. So values are tinted with the moral hues, entailing individual judgment pertaining to the good, right, or desirable. Clear? So values are tinted with the moral hues, entailing with the individual judgments pertaining to the good, right, or desirable. So thus the values are our measures or standards. Clear? So thus the values are our measures or standards for making a judgment. Clear? Basically for making a judgment regarding the right or the wrong things. Clear? For making a judgment regarding the right or the wrong thing. Also the true values must have a universal command and acceptability. Clear? Also the true values must have a universal command and acceptability. Values are internalized as our core beliefs. This is because we live in a world. Clear? Values are internalized as our core beliefs. This is because we live in a world full of values. Clear? This is because we live in a world full of values, and since our childhood, where we continuously and consistently taught certain values by our parents, family members, teachers, etc., along with the rest of the society. Clear? Hope you are able to understand. Clear? So values basically are our measure or standards for making a judgment. Clear? Basically what is right or wrong. Clear? So we are getting all these things clear. That is basically what is the right or wrong, basically from our family or teachers, parents, along with the rest of the society. Clear? As with that passage of the time, we are able to understand all these things. That is regarding the values. So for all the Iibf certificate courses, ethics in banking or foreign exchange facilities for individual, presently courses are going on by the Shiksha 360 team. Interested students can join, and for any more query, you can mail on our email ID. So further, that is, values are derived from the norms present in our society and culture. So therefore, we continue to learn these values. Clear? Therefore, we continue to learn these values even with the subconscious mind, and they are imbibed in our personality and become an integral part of our actions and thoughts. Clear? So therefore, we continue to learn these values even with the subconscious mind, and they are imbibed. Clear? And further, that is, they are imbibed in our personality and become an integral part of our actions and thoughts. Clear? And become an integral part of our actions and thoughts. Our individual perceptions, further, that is, our individual perceptions also influence our attitudes, which guide our behavior, impact our interests and preferences, and complement considerably in the development of our personality. Okay. So our individual perceptions also influence our attitudes, which guide our behavior, impact our interests and preferences, and complement considerably in the development of our personality. So thus, whatever we think and act, clear? So thus, whatever we think and act is always in synchronization with our value system, clear? So thus, whatever we think and act, it is always in synchronization with our value system. In other words, we can say that values become the essential driving force behind our thoughts and actions, clear? So in other words, or we can say that in the simple words, we can say that values become the essential driving force behind our thoughts and actions, clear? Now move to the next one. So what are the characteristics of the values? Very, very important. What are the characteristics of the values to be here? So values have the following salient features. First one, values provide the standards of competence and morality. I request all of you kindly remember all these things, or at least go through the video 2 times. You are able to understand all the points, and the practice question I will provide you in the group. Okay. So values provides basically standards of competence and morality. The value system of an individual serves as the basis for his or her moral principles. Values are not large in number, as we have a few selective values. These selective values decide and determine our concept of virtuous life. Clear? So values are not large in number, and we have a few selective values. These selective values basically decide and determine our concept of the virtuous life. Values outdo specific object, situation, or persons. Okay. Values outdo specific object, situations, or persons. Values act as a measure here. Clear? Further, that is, values act as a measure here. This measure of evaluation, it is applicable to all. Clear? This measure of evaluation, it is applicable to all, irrespective of the number of persons, situations, or objects. For example, honestly, if taken up as a value, then any kind of dishonest behavior by any person in any situation at any time becomes intolerable. Clear? That will become intolerable. Okay. So this is the point they want to say here. That is, this measure of evaluation, it is applicable to all, irrespective of the number of persons, situations, or objects. For example, honestly, if taken up as a value, then any kind of dishonest behavior by any person in any situation at any time becomes intolerable to be here. Next one, that is, values are relatively perpetual and resilient to change. Clear? Values are relatively perpetual and resilient to change. Values describe the concept of an individual ideal. Values describe the concept of an ideal for the individual. It describes what ought to be. Clear? It describes what ought to be. And as such, values are relatively stable and permanent. Clear? And as such, values are relatively stable and permanent. Values are in the form of the strong beliefs in respect of the ideal situation in the life. Clear? So values are in the form of the strong beliefs in respect of the ideal situation in the life. And such strong beliefs are so deep rooted in the individuals and societies that are very difficult to alter or eliminate. Clear? So basically, it describes what ought to be, and as such, values are relatively stable and permanent, and it is very difficult to alter or eliminate. Basically, it does not mean, further, that is, this does not mean that change in values never happen. Clear? It will happen with the passage of the time. Changes in values also happen over the time. Clear? Like we can say that habits basically will not change within 1 or 2 days. It will change over a long period of time. However, the process of change is gradual and comparatively lengthier. Sometimes the value system undergo a change as a result of a social crisis. Clear? Sometimes the value systems undergo a change. Clear? Sometimes the value system basically undergo a change as a result of the social crisis to be here. So that is regarding the values are relatively perpetual and resilient to change. Next one, that is, values are at the core of the personalities. Clear? Values are at the core of the personalities. Values are the very powerful source steering decisions and actions that direct the human behavior. Clear? So values are the powerful force steering decisions and actions that direct the human behavior. As we have seen that whatever we decide and do, it is always compatible with our value system. Clear? So as we have seen that whatever we decide and do, clear, whatever we decide and do, it is always compatible with our value system. So values contain the moral elements and provide us for a list of do's and don'ts. Clear? So as we have seen that whatever we decide and do, it is always compatible with our value system. Values contain the moral elements and provide us for a list of do's and don'ts. They tell us what is permissible and what is not on the basis of the standard for good, right, and desirable. Clear? Further, that is, they tell us what is permissible and what is not on the basis of the standard for the good, right, and desirable. Clear? So that is values that are the core of the personality. Next one, that is values carry a judgmental element also. So this judgment of desirable, it is subjective as well as objective. So what is the meaning of the word subjective and objective here? These are subjective as they describe an experience which is personal. At the same time, values are to be objective because they exist for all the persons, and through proper training, such as judgments can be brought to a common standard. Clear? Such that judgments can be brought to a common standard to be here. Okay. So that is values are at the core of the personalities. First one, values carries a judgmental element, clear judgmental element. Next one, that is values have the content along with the strength and the distinctive feature. Clear, along with the strength and the distinctive feature, that is different. What is that? As such values are central, clear, as such values are central to the core of the person. Many a time we distinguish two persons from one another on the basis of their value system and the concept of values. Clear? As such values are central to the core of the person. Many a time, clear, many a time we have to distinguish two persons. Clear? Many a time we have to distinguish two persons from one another. Clear? Distinguish two persons from one another on the basis of their value system and the concept of the values. Values are central to the individual personalities. Clear? Values are central to the individual personalities. Values make each individual distinctive on the basis of their thoughts and responsiveness. Further, that is, values are central to the individual personality. Values make each individual distinctive on the basis of their thoughts and responsiveness. As values are judgmental of what should be, they describe our ideals and moral standards. Clear? As values are judgmental of what should be, they describe our ideals and moral standards. This belief in principles and standards influence an individual's overall behavior and also guides his or her actions across various situations for the attainment of the objectives. Clear? For the attainment of the objectives. Clear? So as values are judgment of what should be, they describe our ideals and moral standards. This belief in the principles and standards influence an overall individual's overall behavior and also guides his or her actions across the various situations for the attainment of the objectives. Clear? Like what are their targets? Simple language in simple. Values are the key element to our ethical perceptions. And individual's moral standards emerge from the value system. Clear? And individual's moral standards emerge from the value system to be here. That one definitely you will get in the examination. That is, values are to be classified as. Clear? These all are the characteristics of the values. Okay. So kindly remember that these all are the characteristics of the values. Now, classified, clear, types in simple language, we can say that these are basically of the two types: terminal value and the instrumental value. Clear? First one, that is the terminal value. Second one, that is the instrumental value. Let's discuss. So what is the meaning of the word terminal value? A terminal value, it is an ultimate goal which we desire to achieve in our lifetimes. Clear? So what is terminal value? It is an ultimate goal which is desired to achieve in our lifetime. These values are desirable state of existence. It is an enduring belief that a certain end state of existence is worth striving for and attaining. Clear? So what is terminal value? It is an ultimate goal which we desire to achieve in our lifetime. Clear? As with the name suggests, that is terminal, last, a checkpoint. Clear? In simple language, we can say that. So these values are desirable state of existence. It is a enduring belief that a certain end state of existence, it is worth striving and for attaining. What is the meaning of the word instrumental values? It is a tool or means for acquiring a terminal value. Those instrumental values are, in the simplest words, the modes of the behavior. Clear? Basically, what is our behavior towards anything? They are helpful in activating the terminal values which are desired and states. Clear? They are helpful in activating the terminal values which are desired and states. Instrumental values are the core values and permanent in the nature. They form the personal characteristics of an individual. Clear? So what are the instrumental values? Instrumental values are the core values and are permanent in the nature. They form the personal characteristics of an individual. Some examples of the instrumental values basically are being polite, obedient, and maintaining the self-control. Clear? Some examples of the instrumental values are being the polite, obedient, and maintaining the self-control. Clear? So these how the values are to be classified. First one, that is the terminal value. Second one, that is the instrumental value to be here. So these are the detailed discussion of the values. In the next session, we have to detail cover the norms, beliefs. Clear? All these things we have to cover in the next session. So I request all of you kindly attend the regular sessions, and I will upload the session and some of questions in the ethics group. So please attend the sessions regularly, and some of the live session we will also provide you in the group. So link will be provided in the group. Clear? So thanks to all of you for joining the session. If you like the session, please share with your friends also. And for all updates, kindly subscribe our YouTube channel.